I'll wait a minute till these people filter in. So, this is just a basic Cosplay 101 panel. I may have gone a little too far with my PowerPoint presentation. Maybe it's a little advanced, I don't know. But if you guys have questions, stop me and ask me at any point in time. I'm planning on going over makeup, where to buy your wigs, how to deal with contacts, and it's going to be kind of a little bit of a show and tell through what I've done, because those are the examples that I have. So I'm going to walk you through a couple things that I've made and then what it looks like when it's all done and photographed and the materials that I used for it. And then I thought maybe we could have a question and answer session after that. So does that sound all right? So I just wanted to show you this because that's the first cosplay that I ever did, which is Phoenix, and it was for Dragon Con, and I just want to show you because you can start from anywhere. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't ever sewn anything before, so I put together the sash and painted the boots and sewed the emblem on, and it worked out all right. I mean, it's, not professionally done. So I know that people get afraid to even begin to start. They're afraid to learn how to sew, they're afraid to learn how to craft, but really it's not that hard. It's a lot of fun. There's like nothing to be afraid of. So for purchasing wigs, how many of you have experience? I see wigs out there. Where do you guys get your wigs from?
This one's from Linnea Astoria. It's a Japanese brand that it sells it on Rakuten, which is like kind of like an Amazon for Japan stuff. Well, it's shipping, but they're actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, and you have good luck with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really like you can wash them and they come out looking like you.
And you? What about yours?
I got mine on Amazon.
Yeah. You guys have better luck on Amazon than I do. I generally like to get my stuff either from Gothic Lolita Wigs, which is where I got this from, and a bunch of the other wigs that I got. They're priced nicely, they ship to you quickly, they're really good quality. I've never had any problems with them. The problems that I've ever had are ordering wigs from China, because I never know when they're going to get to me. I never know if they're going to get to me, and when they do get to me, a lot of times they're thin or I can't use them and I've waited so long and then I can't do the cosplay because they don't have the wig and I get all stressed out and it sucks. So I don't order from eBay when they ship from China. I don't know if you guys have good luck doing that, go for it. I have horrible luck with it, so I don't do it anymore because I don't like to cause myself distress. But Gothic Lolita Wigs, Rock Shop Wigs is a really good place to go. Arta is a really good place to go, but I don't really find a whole lot that I'm looking for there. Like I've maybe found one wig that I liked from there. I guess their selection just isn't really to my taste. So those are the places I visit, and if you guys have any suggestions on where you buy wigs that you like, feel free to pipe up and let me know so everyone else can know too. As far as wig care is concerned, I store mine in the wig bags that I got them in. And it's not like this is my Joker wig, and it continually gets horribly tangled and bedraggled, and by the end of the convention I look like more of a crazy person than I should. So I use a really wide-toothed wig comb, which I brought one with me. And I just comb them from the bottom up really carefully. And you can use any detangler with it. The wig combs look like this. I don't know if you are familiar, you can pass it around. It's clean. And the wig brushes look like this. And I really wouldn't suggest using any other type of brush on your wig except for ones that are meant for wigs, because it's usually synthetic hair and it'll yank out, and you want to be careful with it and treat it almost better than your own hair. But with this, it was a tangled mess, so I used the wig comb and the detangler, and you just pick it up and comb it in sections from the bottom up really carefully, section by section.
Detangler spray?
Detangle spray, like No More Tears is one of them. You can even, a lot of times if you get like a Moroccan oil or like a slippery shine spray and run your fingers through it with that, that will help at the end when you're done detangling it. You can run the oil through the the hair of the wig, and it will make it a little more slippery so it doesn't tangle as easily. It won't stop it from tangling, it just helps it. But, and then you smooth it out with this wig brush and you can get it as smooth as that. As far as styling them is concerned, you can heat set any of the heat resistant wigs with hot rollers or a curling iron, but the key is to heat it up and then cool it off, like with a blow dryer with the cool setting, because if you don't cool it off, it won't set. For whatever reason, the heat doesn't hold it. So you can curl a wig and make the curls like this, and as long as you've cooled it off, it'll stay. So I hope that helps. So contacts. I don't know how many of you guys wear them. They're a battle for me. I'm wearing some now. But I've gotten them from really cheapy places where they're too thick and they hurt my eyes and they don't fit right and they've ripped on my eyeball in the middle of a convention. Not fun. So you have to be really careful. You have to make sure that your eyes are nice and moist before you put them in the first place. When you get them from these places like Camo Eyes or Pinky Paradise are the two favorites of mine, but there are several other places online that you can get them. But these are always really good quality for me, and they come in those little glass bottles. And when you take them out of the glass bottle, you want to wash them out with contact solution really well and leave them for 24 hours before you stick them in your eye. Because if you stick them in your eye with that solution that's in the glass bottle, you'll hate life. It'll be awful. Your eyes will water, they'll turn red, you'll cry. It'll be terrible. Just don't do it. So, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about the contacts, except that you can bring wedding drops with you. You can't use Visine or anything like that with them. You have to use, if you wear regular contacts, then you have to get the wedding drops. But it's all about keeping your eyes moist is the thing. I don't know if you can see, my eyes just turn automatically red whenever I put them in. So it's a little bit of suffering for the cause, regardless of what you do. Also, there's that. So you can use Jezzabellgem to get 15% off at Camo Eyes. Ooh. So, learning to sew. How many of you guys here actually sew? Yeah? Did you teach yourselves, or did you get tutored? Did you take lessons? All?
Mom. Mom.
Your mom? Yeah. Nice. So for me, I learned how to sew by tutorials and two really good, patient, excellent seamstress friends of mine who are willing to sit with me and teach me how to do stuff. This is the first costume that I ever sewed from scratch, and it was a Sailor Uranus costume for my daughter. Lots of blood, sweat, and tears went into that, but it's a testament to say that even if you've never sewn anything before, if I can do that, I feel like anybody can do anything. So it's just words of encouragement. Lycra sucks. I hate sewing Lycra. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's like sewing water. Yeah. So it was really difficult, but that's how it turned out. And she looks great in it, and she was perfectly happy with it, and I was really proud of it. And it took me forever, probably longer than any regular seamstress would take to make that, but it turned out really well. So, I mean, you can start from nowhere. I just have a baby loft beginner sewing machine, and that's what I use for everything at this point. I didn't even use a serger until a couple of months ago, and it belongs to a friend of mine. I don't own one, so yeah. Okay, so materials. I like to work with all three of these materials. I'd like to put out there that you don't have to buy Warbler to do the thing that you're doing. You can use cardboard, you can use foam. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. You don't have to pay $80 for a sheet of Warbler, though Warbler is really cool stuff. And I do like working with it, but it's really expensive. So,
like $88?
Warbler, on the next slide I've got some prices, but it comes in small sheets, medium sheets, and jumbo sheets. And it goes a long way, and the good thing about Warbler is that, I mean, it's a thermoplastic, so you can stick it to itself, mold it, shape it, use the scraps, and it molds together almost like, I wouldn't say clay, but you can mold it together and make things out of it. So it's a really, there's like no waste. You don't throw any of it away.
So something like that was made out of Warbler?
This is Warbler, and this is a really just silly, cheapy example, but this is what Warbler feels like before you do anything to it, and this is what Warbler can feel like once you have made something out of it and painted it.
You're successful.
It's industrial strength stick on Velcro. Yeah, I didn't want it to come off.
Does Warbler come in varying thicknesses?
No, it's just the one thickness, but you can layer it, and a lot of people put just regular crafting foam, and they layer it in between 2 sheets of Warbler to make it thicker, and you can still mold it that way. There's lots of stuff you can do with it. You can double it up on itself, but it's usually better to put the craft foam in between it. Some people cover Eva foam with Warbler. They make their armor out of Eva foam and then do a Warbler covering.
That's what a lot of this stuff is.
I made my medals out of
Warbler, the belt
Yeah.
buckles Warbler with Ava foam.
Yeah, so all this is made out of Warbler.
Warbler.
Yeah, so you can mold
It's
it,
easy.
shape it. Yeah, super fun. So this is an example of what Eva foam is. Does everyone know what Eva foam is? Floor mats.
Yeah, I've only seen it used as formats. I'm not sure how you would use it in a cosplay sense.
I'm sure. So I'm gonna learn it. Eva foam.
Use a heat gun.
So you can heat Eva foam up just like you can Warbler. And you know, it bends it, you can shape it in any way. The thing that you have to be careful with Warbler is that if you're gonna, this is an unfinished edge. If you fit 2 things together, it's nice to sort of cut it at an angle, so when you put these 2 things together, that big seam doesn't show. But it's really workable, it's really light, it's really easy, and it's cheap. Like, you can get a pack of 4 squares of Warbler for, I don't know, $10, at least where I am.
I mean,
Eva foam, yeah, sorry. Warbler. So I'll pass this around. I'm making I'll show you some pictures when we get on. I made my Gladys helmet that I'll be wearing tomorrow out of Eva foam. So it paints up really nicely too. I used Plastidip on the Eva foam, and this was white Plastidip. That way I don't have to paint any other spray paint on top of it because I was going for white. And the Plastidip is like a rubber. So you can paint the Eva foam and bend it and it doesn't crack or anything.
where do you find Plastidip?
Any hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot.
It's called
Plastidip. Plastidip. Let me take this off. It's falling off anyway.
They usually use it for rubber coating the handle of tools.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
like a can, you open it up and you just dip the bottom of your tool in and take that, and that's how they get the rubber handles on pliers and stuff.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
You can, it's usually over by the spray paint in Home Depot.
Yep. This is spray on Plastidip. The one thing I learned, lesson learned using it on this, is that I tried to spray it on in thin layers, which gives you like kind of a sandy effect, which I didn't know. To get the shiny effect that you're looking for smoothness, you have to spray it on in thick layers.
But he said it's different,
So
so.
it's both. You
Two
can put
kinds.
it in spray.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll pass this stuff around. Told you I had you cool stuff. Yeah.
Do you recommend PCP pipe?
PVC pipe?
Yeah.
I have used it for stuff before.
How would you say, like, it'll work with more of
Is this just not glue?
Yes. Yeah. On the actual Gladys helmet, I used contact cement. That's the best stuff to use to attach Warbler together. I haven't used PVC a whole lot, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with that, but I couldn't really tell you anything. But if you think it's great, is that what that's made out of?
cardboard, PCP pipe, and,
Yeah?
You can get expanded PVC, which comes in sheets like the Warbler, but it's about 1/4 inch thick, and you can sand it, and it's a thermoplastic where you can heat it up
You
and
can?
mold it, but it's thick.
Yeah.
But it's sandable and really
Thick
neat.
like the Eva foam?
About half as thick as the Eva foam.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
about
good to
a
know.
1/8 of an inch, 16th of an inch,
Yeah.
kind of thick, about that thick.
Did you guys hear that?
How do you heat it up? What?
Heat gun.
Heat gun.
Heat gun or a really long time with a hairdryer.
Yeah,
Invest
I
in the
suggest
heat gun.
You can get
Been there, done that.
Don't
Yeah.
set it on the plastic table when you finish.
Yeah. That too.
Makes big holes.
But there's a lot more waste with that, because with, like she was saying with the Warbler, when you're ended up with these little scraps, you can pile all the scraps together, hit it with a heat gun, and take a rolling pin and make another sheet out of it again.
Yeah.
So it's like cookie dough.
Kinda,
Sort of, yeah.
but it only becomes dough when you heat it.
Right.
With the thermoplastic of the expanded PVC, it's a lot cheaper, but the waste is just waste.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
So this is what you can do with cardboard. This is made from cardboard, cable covers, earplugs, grating, plumber parts
Love it.
for the back. So this was the first big thing I ever made, and I didn't have any Warbler, I didn't have any Eva foam, so I just found a tutorial online and I made it out of cardboard. I went from there. I'm not gonna pass this around though.
I completely understand.
Yeah, doesn't
Huh?
make sense.
It's, I'll walk through and let you guys kind of hold
Oh,
it.
it's got netting inside, so you
Yeah.
see through.
You can see through it.
Brilliant.
Well, I mean, the visibility isn't like the greatest thing in the world, but I put on a hard hat underneath of it, and then this just goes on top of the hard hat. It looks like that.
What'd you use for the screen?
The screen is regular window screen,
Okay.
and then weed barrier to make it so that you can't see my face through it.
That's awesome.
But like I said, the visibility is not, I can see like right in front of me, and that's it. So, but if you want to hold it to see how, it's not really that heavy when you're wearing it.
It rests on your shoulders, doesn't it?
It rests on the hard hat just above my
Oh, okay.
shoulders,
So
so
there's
it
a-
just sits on top of the hard hat. I'll have it on Sunday so you guys may able to see it,
Okay, cool.
but if you want to pass it very carefully, just don't drop it all the way down so people can, you want it, Corey, will you pass it so people can hold it? And this is an example of what you can. So this great knife is made out of Eva foam, and it's super light, and it's, didn't really hurt anybody with it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is how I made the pyramid head helmet. That's the cardboard base that I made for it. And then for the parts in the front, I just used foam core and cable covers cut in half to give it that weird metal robot-y look. And then I put a base paint of rust-colored spray paint over the whole thing. And then I brushed it with gold, silver, and black paint so that you could see the red kind of through it, so it would look rusty. And then the Eva foam knife, this is 3 layers of Eva foam with a hole Dremel through so that a piece of PVC pipe is up through the center and there's a pool cue stuck in the PVC pipe. So you gotta get creative. And that's what it looks like when it's all put together. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys wanna. This is my Vanna White.
When you put the Eva foam together, is that the seam just where you're locking the pieces together and just glue that? To make the big long sheets?
Well, from the beginning, I cut out, I'll just start from the beginning. I cut out this paper pattern for it. And I laid the paper pattern on the Eva foam and I cut out 3 layers of it. And then 2 layers I put together so I could Dremel the hole in the center. So when I put the 2 layers together, I used heavy duty contact cement so that it would like not come apart.
Okay.
Did you just heat it and put it together, melt it together?
No, Eva foam you put together, the best glue that I like to use is contact cement. And so you slather each side that you're gonna put together with the cement, give it a chance to dry and get tacky, and then once you stick it together, you're not getting it apart.
Because I found the Eva foam when I melted it together, it was together.
And you didn't use any glue or anything?
Nothing.
I've never done it that way before. And then I dremeled the little hole, in a groove in the top half and then put it on top and contact cemented, and it stays pretty well. And then, of course, we had a belt sander, so we sanded the edges to look like a knife, So this is how the Gladys helmet that you'll see tomorrow was made. I did a paper template and I cut it out, and I used a paint can to roll it over to heat it to the shape that I wanted it. Gladys from Portal, am I speaking about a character that you guys know?
Yeah.
Okay. So her face is curved. And we went on from there to paint it. So the little piece of white Eva foam that I passed around with the white plastic dip on it, that's the end result of that. And what's in the center of it? What's in the center of it is a piece of acrylic so that I'll be able to see through the mask. And this is also heatable and bendable. This is smoky acrylic, and I did the same thing. I put it over a paint can and just heated it very slowly. This doesn't bend like Warbler or Eva foam. You have to be really careful and do it very slowly, and if you push too hard, it'll break. So it's really kind of tedious to do, but this is, it did take, yeah. Yeah.
Is that like the lemon flex, if you heat it, it starts to tear?
This doesn't tear. It will simply, if you put too much pressure on it, while you're heating it, it will just snap in two, which I did to a piece of that. I was like, yay, I'm heating it. Then it broke in half. And the light in the middle is just one of those tap lights that you push and it turns on. And it's glued in the hole. And then the inside's wired up with a red light that I had to get help with. So, it has a battery and a switch, and he helped me with that.